We're gonna be popular. That's right. Let's go. Let's freaking go. You guys have no idea what happens in the brain of this dude right here. Call me crazy. Some do. Some do. Some think I'm wild. Some think I'm a lunatic. Some don't understand me. Some say, where the heck did this guy come from, man? That's right, because just right when we start the show, right out the gate, Ariana Grande pops into my head. Popular, you're gonna be popular. And that's gonna take us into this week. That's right. That's gonna take us all the way into this week. You guys are like, how? What do you mean? That's gonna take us into this week? Well, this week we're cracking out a brand new series. A brand new series that is very, very, very timely. A brand new series that is very exciting. It's a brand new series that is just an incredible way to start Monday morning. I'm telling you, I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive right in.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Monday. That's right. Today is Monday, November 17th, 2025. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Monday, November 17th, 2025. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible, and I do mean incredible day. Do me a favor, Facebook's doing its thing already. Those of you that are in here, make sure you tag a friend. Make sure you hit that share button. Go ahead and let people know that this is here, because people are already having a hard time finding the show, which is great. It's just something we deal with every single day, it seems like. But listen, I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. That's right, coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, where today we are looking at a high of 52 degrees. That's right, we're looking at a high of 52 degrees. Right now, it is a whopping 34 degrees this morning, which, hey, 34 is not freezing. It's not warm. It's not warm. We're not going to go as far as to call it warm, but it's not freezing. And for that, I am eternally grateful, because this brother right here is a tropical human being. I am a tropical person. I like tropical weather. I like heat. I am not a fan of the cold in any way, shape, or form. But I am coming off of a big weekend. This is a big weekend. Got to invest a whole lot of time with the family, which is something that I have personally been working on in my hashtag 90-day unrecognizable challenge. As we were approaching the end of the year, I realized we were 90 days out, and there was one thing I wanted to be, or the thought was, what is one thing I could add into my life or remove from my life that would make me unrecognizable in 2026? And what came up for me is I said that I prioritized my relationship with God. I said that I prioritized my relationship with my family. I said those things, but if you looked at my calendar showed that I prioritized some other things in life. And so what I wanted to do for my hashtag 90-day unrecognizable challenge is really put God and family first, like really, 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 like prioritize them. And so I've been doing that, and this weekend was really, really neat. This weekend, lots of time with the kids, which was phenomenal. My son, Hutch Rader, he is something else, man. This is one really happy, really smiley baby. Him and I are super, super, super connected. He's 7 months old now. He's a big junker. This is him with his 7-year-old sister, and he's nearly as big as she is. It's absolutely wild. He tried some new foods over the last few days. He's been strictly nursing for the last 7 months, but now he's getting to eat some food. So he had some green beans and some different things, which is super, super cool. My daughter Willow, who's the artist of the family, and at times her and I's brains don't necessarily align. She had her friend Morgan over, and her and Morgan and Meredith decided to do some face painting of their own, using their makeup in very interesting ways. So as you can see in this picture, for those of you that are watching, this is what it looks like when you put together, a 10-year-old and a couple of 11-year-olds, and you give them a bunch of makeup, and you have the artist leading the way. And so lots of time with the family this weekend. Joel had soccer. He had a soccer game on Saturday night, which was great. Also, our new thoroughbred racehorse, 800 is the name of this horse. Our new thoroughbred racehorse made it over to the training center and has started its training. So it started its training. It's got this beautiful, beautiful blonde hair, but I got the opportunity to go out there for a couple hours, and I got to meet the trainer. What's up, Frank Knox? I got to meet the trainer. I got to meet our jockey. Got to meet all of those incredible people. There's such an incredible culture and community around horse racing. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. I just absolutely love it. It's this incredible balance of it's an incredible balance of slowing down just a little bit and at the same time getting after it. Like these people in the horse world, they start every day at like 5:30 in the morning. They go till 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And just when you're out there, you feel a sense of urgency and a sense of peace. It's a very unique environment. But that was awesome. And then yesterday, that's right, Scott. Yesterday, I got the opportunity to take my oldest daughter in the house, my 16-year-old. I decided to take her on a daddy-daughter date. And so her and I went to the skating rink, just the two of us. We went to the skating rink and played some video games and did some skating, which was super, super fun. She's always been a great skater. It's something that her and I connected on when she was very little, and it's just always been a part of what we do in our family. So we did some skating, and then after skating, I took her to dinner. We had an Italian dinner, and she shared with me some things that she really enjoyed. She shared with me that she enjoys, apparently there's some, what's up, Nathaniel Greklek? Apparently she enjoys there's this new jewelry from Kendra Scott. And so we had a little window of time, and we were close to Macy's. So we hopped over to Macy's, and we got her a little necklace and some earrings that she was super excited about. And then from there, we went to countdown games. And so we went to countdown games, and just the two of us did one of the escape rooms. I don't know if you guys have ever done these escape rooms, but it was super fun. But her and I did the escape room. We got out just in time, 58 minutes and 2 seconds. We were 1 minute and 58 seconds away from dying from some crazy poison that had been injected into our bodies as we had been captured. And then from there, we went to Grater's, where we got some ice cream. She got herself a shake. I got me some black raspberry and some black cherry chip, which was amazing. And so we had a great time. And so that's how the weekend ended. The weekend ended last night with the daddy-daughter date with me and my daughter. And I got to tell you, I've been working on this unrecognizable thing for 40-something days now, and things are shifting in my house. When I got home last night, my wife was like, all of your other kids are super jealous, and they're asking all kinds of questions. They're like, why is Dad doing some like one-on-one stuff? You know, I took Fisher with me when I went and took the mowers to the mechanic the other day, and Savannah with this, and then there's been some other kind of one-on-one stuff, and it's interesting to see my kids kind of reacting, which shows me that there was an aspect of this that I didn't even recognize. Like, I knew I am to this day an amazing husband and an amazing father. I am those things. But there's levels, man. There's another level when you truly prioritize the things that matter in your life. So anyways, all of that to say, all of that happened this weekend. It was a great weekend. And it was also, on top of all of that, it was also the very last weekend that any of us, me, you, people in China, people in Africa, people in Australia, humanity itself, the global humanity. Last weekend was the last weekend that any of us will ever have to live without the conclusion of Wicked in our lives. That's right. Last weekend was the last weekend that any of us will ever have to live without the conclusion of Wicked, the movie, in our lives. Dude, Wicked for good. That's right. We are just 5 days away. Do you know that? We are just 5 days away from the epic battle, the final epic battle between Alphaba and the great Wizard of Oz. We are just 5 days away. We are 5 days away until Glenda officially becomes the good witch. We are 5 days away from when the lion cub becomes the cowardly lion. We are just 5 days away from when Bach is going to turn into the Tin Man. We are just 5 days away from when Fiero is going to become the Scarecrow. We are just 5 days away until one of the greatest stories ever told hits the big screen, folks. We are just 5 days away. I rented a theater. I did. I rented a theater. I rented the entire theater. Just me, my family, and 74 of my closest friends will be watching the premiere of Wicked for Good this Friday, November 20, or is Friday the 21st, 17th, 18th, 19th? Yeah, this Friday, November 21st, we have rented out the theater. It is a Lundy takeover. It is an 800% takeover. I have invited family. I have invited friends. We have invited neighbors. We have invited all the people, and we have the entire theater to ourselves. I am super stoked. We do everything big around here, bro. Just in case you didn't know, we do everything big around here. Friday night, the world changes. Okay, Friday night, the world changes, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. But that brings upon us a question. Like, why? What is it about this story that draws us in? Like, why has the book, the play, the music, and the movie, why has it been so popular? I'm gonna be popular. Like, why has it become so popular? Think about that. The book, mega seller. The play, been running for decades, sells out every single night. The movie, a global phenomenon. What is it about this story that has managed to capture the hearts of so many people? Like, if you think about it, it captures the hearts of people across ages. It captures the hearts of people across ethnicities. It captures the hearts of people across different, personal preferences, what type of movies that we like, etc. Like, what is it about it that makes me, Glenn Lundy, want to do an entire series around it this week? And even more importantly, what is it about it that makes me, Glenn Lundy, go out and actually buy an entire movie theater for my friends and family on open day. Wicked, never heard of her. Scott Simons, hush your mouth right now. You have got to hush your mouth right now. Wicked, never heard of her. Stop it. I need you to fly into Kentucky. I know you just opened a dealership, but you need to be here November 21st, where I'm going to find an extra seat for you. So what is it about this movie? What is it about this story? What is it about this that makes this so, incredibly wild? That's what we're going to dive into this week. And unfortunately, I can't play any of the music right now, or it would get copyrighted and it would get flagged. So we're not going to play the music. I'm going to find a way, though, by the end of the week to get some of the music mixed in here non-copyright. I'm going to use AI, and that's going to happen. But we're going to dive in today into this new series, Wicked for Good. But before we do, you know what we got to do on this show? We got to do some dancing. Let's go. We got Nathaniel Greklek in the house. He's probably the best dancer out of all of us. If you guys haven't followed Nathaniel Greklek, he is a breakdancing fool. Everywhere we go, this guy breaks out back spins, and he'll just jump into the middle of a crowd, and he gets everybody so jacked up. He is a dancing machine. So we all need to follow Nathaniel Greklek's lead this morning. And I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're out on a run. I don't care if you're lifting weights. I don't care if you're at work. I don't care if you're overseas. Wherever you are, you just need to get your body in motion. An object in motion stays in motion. An object at rest stays at rest. I can't stress this enough. All right? So do me a huge favor and get that body in motion. This is also the part of the show where I need you, yes, you specifically. Let's go to this camera. Yes, you. I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. Does that sound fair? Let's do it. All right, let's see who's all up in here this morning. I see Alexandria Nicole is in the building. Good morning, Alexandria Nicole. I see Denny Rust is in the building. How you doing, Denny Rust? I see Marilyn Wilkin. Good morning, Marilyn Wilkin. Nathaniel Greklek, of course, is in the building. Scott Simons is over here giving me grief about my Wicked. He's in the building. Bella Rigby, thanks for being here. Thank you so much. I also see Trisha Rue is in the building. How you doing, Trisha Rue? Thanks for being here. Richard Bruce, my guy. Richard. Thank you so much for being here, man. I love you. Pray for you every single day. Every single day. Elizabeth McDonald, thank you for being in the building. Sean Weatherby, thank you for being here as well. Malika Carey is in the building. Tony with the key. Look, Tony, to this day, bro, this song that you wrote and created all those years ago, we still listen to it every single day, man. It is the anthem, and it never gets old, bro. It never gets old. Amen. You know what I'm saying, dude? It just never gets old. Thank you for writing this song. I see Robin Welshans is in the building. Mr. Mike Larkin is in the building. Trisha Rue is in the building. Spencer Nicholson. What's up, Spencer Nicholson? Tell hello to the kiddos. Richard. Amy Sizemore is in the building. Rich Pintrick is in the building. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of people when I'm behind. Rodney Rock Hatfield's in the building. Robert Migliaccio is in the building. All my folks over there on Clubhouse. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? You are amazing. All right. We are going to dive into this week's series. However, before we go too far, very, very, very important. If you go to glennlundy.com/morning, let me see what that says. I always tell my team they gotta do better than this. glennlundy.com/morning-5/planner. Gosh, that's hard. It just needs to be themorning5.com is what it needs to be. However, themorning5.com is not ready right now. So if you go to glennlundy.com/morning-5, all spelled out, FIVE/planner, you can go ahead and pre-order this year's planner. Now, the way that it works with pre-orders is if you pre-order the planner, I will sign it. I will sign it if it's pre-ordered. If you order after Black Friday, I will not sign it. All right, I will not sign it. So if you want a signed one, you got to do it on the pre-order. Now, we do have digital versions as well now. We do have digital versions. This is the first year ever that we've done digital versions available to the public. And so when you buy a paper planner, you also get a free digital version, or you can just buy the digital version. Now, these planners are right around, I think they're $59 for the paper version. I think it's like $12 for a digital version. So go to glenlundy.com/morning-5, all spelled out, /planner, and pre-order your paper planner. They will ship on Black Friday, which is about 11 days from now. I will sign those. If you do not pre-order, I will not be signing those. And if you want a digital copy, you can get them for only $12, I think is what it is this year. So glenlundy.com/morning-FIVE/planner. This is the planner that will help you change the way you start your day. It's your opportunity to go through a checklist of 5 amazing things that can transform your life. There's also a quote on the top of every single page of the planner that is submitted by this community so that you can start every day inspired. And then we also have a book that we read together every month. We talk about that in the planner as well. And then, of course, it's got your space for your calendar and all of the things that you got going that way. And it's got space to write your gratitude and write your goals. This planner has transformed my life and the lives of hundreds of thousands of people all around the world. Make sure you get one at glenlundy.com/morning-5 Go grab you one today. Greg McGuire wrote Wicked. He wrote the book Wicked, which ultimately became a play, Wicked, which ultimately became a movie, Wicked, which ultimately has transformed humanity. There's just no way to put it any other way. Greg McGuire wrote Wicked. And when they asked Greg why he wrote this, he said that he loved fairy tales. And he always wondered, Greg loved fairy tales, and he always wondered, what about the characters in the fairy tales like we never hear from? Like when you think about the fairy tales, there's always like, Goldilocks and the 3 bears. We hear about Goldilocks and all the things that happened in her life, but where did the 3 bears come from? And how did those 3 bears end up getting a house? And what was their whole story before Goldilocks showed up? And what's their story after Goldilocks left? What about Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf, right? What about Grandma in that story? What was her story? Where did she come from? How'd she grow up, right? Like all these fairy tales, you've got the main character. When you look at Rapunzel, or if we look at Snow White, or if we look at, any of those, when you look at these fairy tales, it's like you got the main character and there's the happily ever after. But what about all the other characters that we never hear from? And then Greg McGuire said he started asking himself this question, like, what if the villain isn't really the villain? Because in all of these stories, we're really only hearing one side of the story. And obviously, if we only hear one side of the story, we can paint whatever narrative we want because we never take the opportunity to hear the other side of the story. So what if the villain isn't really the villain? And then Greg McGuire asked himself this question. He said, who gets to decide who is wicked? Who gets to decide who is wicked? And see, that's an interesting question, right? Because if you look at humanity itself, right, like we make decisions on what's okay and what's not okay. When it comes to religions and different religions, we say, oh, well, you're wicked if you believe this, you're wicked and evil, but you're good if you believe this. When it comes to how people operate in their businesses, we say, well, you're mean and evil if you operate in this way, and maybe you're good if you operate in this way. It's interesting that we say it's okay to shoot another man in war, but it's not okay to shoot him in the streets. Who gets to decide who is wicked? It's a big question. So Greg McGuire, he wanted to explore the idea of evil in a deeper way. He said he had this question that he would always ask himself. He said, is anyone actually born evil? Or do they become that way? Were they born with this evil gene, or were they shaped and molded by their environments? Are they a product of the environment, or are they a product of genetics? Are they a product of their DNA? Are they just born evil? And so he wanted to explore this idea deeply, right? And as he explores it, it's interesting for us to kind of think about as well, right? Like, he had this question when it came to the Wizard of Oz, right? He was like, okay, there's this green wicked witch, but what if that witch had a childhood? What if that witch had friends? What if that witch had dreams? Like, I want you right now, and this is a positive morning show, but just think of somebody that you consider wicked or somebody that you consider evil. Think about someone that you would say down with this particular person, and they are the scourge of the earth. Now, I want you to go backwards in time, take that person that's probably a big adult scary figure, and I want you to go back in time to when that person was 5 years old. Or maybe back in time when that person looked like my little Hutch Raider with a green bean out of his face. Or maybe back in time when that person looked like Willow, who was a misunderstood artist. Or go back into time to maybe when that person was 16 years old and still trying to figure out their identity and dealing with the pressures of life. Like, I just want you to go back real quick and just ask yourself real quick, like, could it be possible that that person that you consider evil, could it be possible that that person had a childhood? Could it be possible that that person had friends? Could it be possible that that person had dreams? You know, it makes me think about the experiences around slavery, right? Like, around slavery in this country, it was just hey, what's up, Almir? Around slavery in this country, it was just wildly accepted that black people were evil, that they were less than, that they weren't human. It was just, so it was totally acceptable, and they could be treated like dogs. They could be chained up. They could be whipped. They could be killed. They could be murdered. They could be hung. They could be burnt at the stake. They could be torn apart by dogs. You could, families would teach their children to stay away from the niggers, right? Families would teach their children to, throw hot coffee in their face and to hit them with fire extinguishers and so on and so forth. Like, it was just globally, or not, I don't know about globally, but it was just humanity just accepted the fact that these black people, these people with a different colored skin, were evil. And then it makes me think about how we still do that to this day. Maybe black skin in America isn't as, well, it definitely isn't as bad as it was, but there are other people that we are doing the same thing to. Like, if you think about what we do right now when it comes to war, if you think about right now what we do with immigrants, if you think about, all the different things that are going on around the country right now, is people are being positioned as less than, people are being positioned as evil, and people are being treated as such. And it happens every single day. What I like about Greg Maguire, the guy who decided to write the book Wicked that ultimately became the play, that ultimately became the movie, that ultimately caused me to rent out an entire theater so that me and 74 of my closest friends can watch it. What I love about Greg Maguire is he asked a really big question. He asked, what is on the other side of the story that's never been told? You see, in The Wizard of Oz, the main character is just an empty, one-dimensional witch. But Greg asked the question, why is she green? Greg asked the question, what was Oz like before Dorothy showed up? Greg asked the question, how did the government run? What were the politics of Oz? And Greg asked a really powerful question. He said, why was Glinda so perfect? You know that old saying, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Why was Glinda, the good witch, so perfect? You see, he questioned everything deeper like you and I probably should. Now, I know that there are some of you on this show right now, today, thousands of people are going to watch this show today. Some of you are going to be really offended because I used the N word earlier. We'll see that one in the inbox. Some of you are going to say, Glenn, it's just a movie, dude. Like, it's just a movie, Glenn. Some of you are going to say, why are you questioning all these things? Like, obviously, it's just a movie. Of course, Glinda's perfect. Of course, the witch is green. None of it's real, Glenn. It's just a movie. And to that I say, is it? Is it just a movie? Or is it a reflection of humanity? Is it just a movie, or is it a reflection of humanity? Because when I look at the movie and then I look at the real world, here's what I see. In the movie, there's oppression. They are oppressing the voices of the animals. In real life, I see oppression. They are oppressing the voices of humans. In the movie, I see propaganda. They blow they call her the Wicked Witch of the West, and there's all this propaganda saying that she's evil and lies that she's doing things that she didn't do. And in real world humanity, I see a whole lot of propaganda. In the movie, there's a power struggle between the Great Wizard of Oz and Elphaba, and in real life, I see power struggles between world leaders, business owners, neighbors, family members. In the movie, there's some moral gray areas of what's right and what's wrong and who's ethical and who's not. And in humanity, I see the same thing. In the movie, there's two sides. There's left and there's right. There's enemies of the government and the government of the enemies. And in real life, I see the same thing. So if you ask me, why is this movie so important? Why are we doing a whole series around it? Why is it that we're renting out a theater so that me and 74 of my closest friends can enjoy the movie together? I believe that Wicked reminds us to open our eyes. I believe that this movie reminds us to look around. I believe that this movie says, hey, maybe all is not what it seems. And maybe the narrative that you are being given or the corner that you're painting yourself in is not real. Maybe you're only paying attention to one side of the story. What if, just what if Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, actually wasn't wicked? What if Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, was just different? What if Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, was just different? What if Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, was just different? What if Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, was just different? What if Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, was just different? What if Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, was just different? and the world couldn't handle that. This series is going to continue this week. We're going to dive in. We're going to dive deep, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be thought-provoking, and I know we're going to have some incredible conversations, and I also know I'm going to get some awesome freaking DMs. I know that that's going to happen. What a fun time. Let's go. We're going to roll into our Monday. Just be reminded, hey, I love you. I do. I absolutely stinking love you. Whether you're brown, white, or green, I absolutely stinking love you, because I believe that you and I are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And that God made you and I to be the absolute best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be, and to do it together in community. That's my belief. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know, but that's my belief. And you are a part of that. You're a part of my story. You're a part of my journey. So thanks so much for joining. If you haven't done so already, hit that share button. This is going to be a super fun week. Invite all of your friends as we go down this road of wicked.